I'm Dolph Janis, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar on the truth about annuities, how to protect your retirement, and most importantly, on different ways to help save and reduce your taxes. I appreciate you guys signing up for this. It's about 35 minutes long. There is a screen at the bottom. If you would like to ask any questions throughout the presentation, go ahead and ask those. Click there and submit your questions, as many as you would like. I will look at them over after the webinar, and I'll get back to you shortly on any questions. And if there's any handouts or anything that you see that you'd like to know more about, please let me know, okay? Now, a lot of you have known me, and I've had an interesting life, and I love my life, and I always find out where does it begin. And some of you have heard the story, and some of you have not, but why did I get into in this industry and what I do? And I said, back in the days, I used to work in the casino business. I started out in Reno, and I went to Lake Tahoe, and worked a little time in Vegas, but what I learned there was not just the glitz and glory of working in Nevada. It was like learning a different lifestyle. Let's just put it that way. And I'll never forget working as a craps dealer at Reno at the Atlantis, and it was fun, and then the money was decent, but it was like watching these people come in, day out, and some would win, some would lose, and that's the risk of gambling, and that's like we call it the market casino. It's like risk of winning and losing. It was a lot of fun, and sometimes were worse than others, but Reno was a very small town, and outside of San Francisco is right down the way, and started getting these relationships with a lot of locals that would come in, week out, daily. It might see, and one of them really stuck to my mind was his name was Brandon Thomas, good friend of mine, became a good friend of mine, and I hated seeing him lose. And it just seemed like Brandon had the worst of luck, and he just kept on losing and losing, and but he wouldn't give up. He was very persistent, and sometimes I just see him come in, and it was just no matter what happened, he would just lose. And all these other people would just win, and then they would lose. It was like they go up a bunch of thousands and down a bunch of thousands. And I started rethinking this as like, I'm making money off of these people. The casino's making fortunes off of these people, but I know the risk of gambling is something that you would endure. And so then I transferred up to Lake Tahoe, and I was working at Caesars up there, and then there was Brandon again. It was like that was an obsession. It was an obsession. It's like smoking, drinking, doing a lot of things you shouldn't do, and watching these people lose their hard-earned money. And I come thinking about it, and then the way my life was progressing and stuff, it's like, I don't like seeing people lose money. I like people making money and protecting themselves and knowing this truth and stuff. And uh, left Brandon. I ended up leaving Nevada and coming back and getting into this industry shortly thereafter of the memories of watching people walk up with that risk, the risk versus reward. It's like, yeah, I might make a lot, but I might lose everything. And I didn't like that we were losing. And over the last 17 years, I've become an educator in this industry between a lot of the places I've been and the radio show I've hosted. And it's all about not losing. And that's why I got in this industry is like, I don't want to see people lose money. And this is a part of the presentation of like when you're losing money on taxes and stuff. And if you've seen other presentations I've done, a lot of it is about ways not to lose money. Like I said, I'm an educator. I've been an income strategist since 2004. I wrote a book that was published about a year and a half ago called Cross the Bridge Retirement, about different strategies on how to get over that bridge and stay over that bridge without worrying about it. And if you haven't received a copy, I'd be more than happy to send you a complimentary copy, either PDF or hard copy. If you just respond to the email below and send me an email, I'd love to get that out to you. I've written a lot of articles besides my book. I've been on radios for God knows how many, 12, 13 years. Been lucky to have been in Forbes 3 times, Money Magazine, Fortune, I'm naming a couple of the other ones, but all these articles are available online if you'd like to see that at our website as well. So jumping right into it is like, what defines a successful retirement plan? A successful retirement plan provides the ability to maintain your lifestyle for the duration of your life. It's simple. You go to retirement, you don't have any stress, you don't have any worries, you just keep going. And that would be a successful retirement plan that everybody wants to achieve, but so few actually get through to it. The hallmarks of a successful retirement plan is obviously part of it is safety. You want assets that are protected. You want income. Everybody has to have income. Well, having a lot of money is fantastic, but if you don't have enough income to outlive for your life, what good is that income going to do if it's going to run out at some point? And how was this plan addressed historically? Let's look back before we get into this stuff. We're going to get into the nits and grannies of taxes throughout the presentation, but we're under a new administration now. And so a lot of things are going to change in the coming weeks and months, and we don't know what those are. Pensions were one of the first things that came around. I mean, they were created to provide retirees, employees with a defined income plan for the remainder of their lives. They were safe. Pensions were coming around. They've been an important part of people for public service and became popular in the private sector in the late 1800s. I mean, pensions are great. I mean, they're one of the three guaranteed sources of life and income for life. I mean, you got Social Security, you got pensions, and you got annuities. Those are really the only three guaranteed ways that you're going to get income for the rest of your life. Pensions have been dying down a lot lately. If you haven't noticed, some of them have been defaulting. Some of them just running out of money, and so pensions have been historically going down as the days have gone by. And so then became the rise of the defined contribution plans, the IRAs, the 401ks, your Roth IRAs. So starting in the mid 1980s, 401ks and IRAs started to replace pension plans because people got nervous about pensions. I mean, if you look today, how many pension plans are getting knocked out there right now? And what these defined contribution plans will help you workers do is the more control of how their retirement savings are invested and get the freedom to move between jobs without losing your retirement savings right now. But there's one thing that they leave retirement people with which is the biggest risk in retirement. In my personal opinion, it's called longevity. You don't know how long you're going to live. And the longer you live, the more assets you need. The more assets you need, the more income you need to get through that, for you're not dependent on other people. So what is longevity risk, you might ask? Well, you might know, but why does it really matter? It's the risk that retirees have for outliving their financial assets. It's one of the biggest fears besides spiders and public speaking out there is not having enough money for the rest of your life. I mean, I'm terrified of spiders. I love public speaking. That's not an issue, but a lot of people like that. My biggest fear is heights. And the higher I get, the more freaked out I get. And that goes into the aspect of I start low and go high. It's kind of like the stock market, and that's how it's going to work. But how did it arise? I mean, 401k and IRA owners lost the benefit to pool risk that allows the defined benefit income to last the rest of your life, because you have to have that risk in there and take things away from your life to enjoy it. And that's the only way the money is going to last forever, guaranteed. And why is everyone talking about longevity risk? Because the risk of outliving your financial assets is one of the biggest leads to longer lives. I mean, medical costs are one of the biggest costs you're going to have in retirement. And medical costs are not cheap. They're not going down, folks. They're getting more expensive as we go. So people have asked me, Dolph, how are you going to change that with a substitute my pension act? I mean, it's like, well, like I mentioned, Social Security and annuities. Oh, annuities. Oh no, God, I don't want to even talk about annuities with the big A word. Well, a lot of good words start with the letter A, and annuities is actually one of them. Downside of annuities is a lot of times you run into a captive agent that only offers one or two. They're not offering the annuity that you're looking for. Two, the variable annuity. It's been one of the most sought after complained annuities by the SEC and FINRA. More complaints about the variable annuities, which we do not offer those. High risk, high fees, no guarantees. But annuities were created to help retirees address the number one retirement plan risk, and that's longevity. Annuities, like I said, is a substitute for a pension that can provide you guaranteed income for the rest of your life, and you never have to worry about running out of money. So really quick, what is an annuity? It's like, well, it's like Social Security. You're the owner. And unlike Social Security, you're paying into an insurance company through a contract, kind of like you're paying into Social Security, you're paying the government. An annuity, you're paying an insurance company. Basically the same thing, except the annuity has a chance to grow, where the Social Security, that's just whatever they pay you, they pay you. And then like a Social Security, when you die, the money goes away. In an annuity, if there's money left in the annuity, it goes to your beneficiaries avoiding probate. So basically, you're taking your premium and you're putting it with them. And in return, if you choose an income annuity, it's going to give you a guaranteed lifetime income that you can never outlive. So it gives you that peace of mind knowing that you'll never outlive your money. And insurance companies specialize in providing benefits to offset that life risk. Insurance companies pool their risk money to help individuals manage those unexpected circumstances out there, which is, again, the risk of living and how long you're going to live. So they're pulling those risks together to make sure you have enough money to live for the rest of your life. So the life insurance part of it helps individuals manage unexpected early death, because the annuity will pay out to the beneficiary. And the annuity part of it will help individuals manage unexpected longer lives. So you're going to live longer. And the longer you live, the more money you're going to pay. I mean, I have a client right now, it's 104 years old. I met them basically in 2005. And so they've been alive for 17 years now. I mean, they were 87 when I first met them, and they never would thought about an annuity. So we got them in an immediate annuity, a lifetime income. The money ran out. The money ran out back in about 7, 8 years ago. But for the last 10 years, they are still receiving a paycheck. So even though there's no money left in her account, she's still receiving money. Pretty good comfort there. So why should I get an annuity? Well, for the same reason you buy life insurance. By pulling your risk together with others, you're receiving enhanced benefits. Annuities address longevity risk by providing income for life. Now, not all annuities are designed for income for life, but the number one thing annuities are designed for is protection from risk. That's the number one thing. The only real way to lose money in an annuity, if you keep it for its full term, is if you take money out of the annuity or close it beforehand. That's the only way your value is going to go down. But the other part of it is providing income for the rest of your life. So this goes back to the captive independence. I'm fortunate enough to be an independent now. I work with over 30 plus different insurance companies, and I'll find the right one for people that are looking for the right thing. But under like other types out there, annuities can be shaped to meet your specific objectives. But things you need to know. I mean, there's always, it sounds great on the outside, but there's things you need to know on the inside. By keeping it simple, there are different types of annuities. It's not a one size fits all. Like investments out there, annuities need to address what your objectives are. You need to understand the risks and the rewards of the different various types of annuities. Where, like I said, independent, you get to offer all the different types for liquidity, for growth, for income, for legacy planning. Nothing is a one size fits all out there. And some captives out there, I know some, I used to work with some, they would offer one or two and they think it's perfect for everybody, but it's not. You got to find the right thing for the right person. So when you're looking around to shop for an annuity, you have to find what's right for you. Are you looking for liquidity, growth, income, or legacy planning? So let's cover the different types of annuities. I mean, like I said, variable annuities, I do not work with. That's a stock market risk. They enhance tax deferred growth opportunities, but with the risk of principal loss. You're getting upside potential, but you have a lot of downside risk, and they generally have a lot of fees between 2 and 4% tacked onto them. You got a fixed annuity? Simple. It's just principal protection with a fixed rate of growth. Same thing as a CD. We do videos on this all the time. The exception is an insurance company's paying you the money, and it's tax deferred versus having to pay your taxes every year. Then you have the fixed index annuity, which is a little bit of the best of both worlds. You get principal protection with growth related to index providing an inflation hedge. So you're getting upside potential without the downside risk. Now, the biggest bang for your buck is a variable annuity. You have the highest potential of making money with a variable annuity, but you also have the highest risk of losing money with a variable annuity. No one's ever lost money in a fixed or fixed index annuity, again, unless you've taken money out or you closed an annuity prior to its maturity. So let's cover variable annuities a little bit. I said I'm not going to hound too much on them because I don't offer them. I've done a lot of study on them. I can offer them. I just decide not to. Their features and benefits. I mean, they have principal protection. No. Since an investment is in a mutual fund, the company cannot guarantee the safety of your principal. They do have income for life. They do provide income for life, which is a nice little thing. It does have. And the market type returns, which are based upon the asset class of the portfolio. Like on the right, you see fixed income, large cap, international. You get to choose it. But if you're going to choose a variable annuity, you're for growth and for protection and stuff, you're better off just putting it in the stock market and then just choosing your own stuff or working with a money manager in that aspect, unless you're going to use the variable annuity for income for life. And of course, tax deferral, the benefits of non-qualified investments through annuities is non-qualified money is tax deferred under annuities. They're not tax deferred under like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and stuff like that. Fixed annuities, growth rate is declared for a certain period of time. Like I said, right now, us personally, me, myself, we have annuities that go from 30 days all the way till 12 years. So you can pick the term, and that's the rate that you're going to get for that whole amount of term. All annuities that are worked with are all tax deferred. So meaning you're not paying taxes until you take the money out. I'll refer to that. You don't pay taxes at the end. You're not going to get a 1099 at the end of every year with an annuity, whether it's IRA money, 401k, SEP, whatever, but it's tax deferred money. Fixed annuities, generally, they can provide guaranteed incomes for life. They're not going to be as high as like an income annuity, but they do have that feature that if you've had a fixed annuity for, let's say, 6 years, and you want to turn it into an income stream, you can annuitize it for the rest of your life. That's not a problem. And of course, one of the biggest ones we talk about is principal protection. Is the original principal plus all the crediting interest is guaranteed never to go below its value. Where a fixed index annuity is taking a little bit of both. I mean, fixed index annuity is tied to indexes, whether it's the Barclays, the Trailblazers, the S&P, the Merrill Lynch. I mean, personally, I work with over 115 different indexes out there, and they all perform differently in different markets. There's indexes that can perform really well in a great market, but not too well in a poor market. There's ones that perform very well in a poor market, but average in a great market. And then you have the middle of the road ones. So you have to realize which avenue are you looking for that to go for, because the crediting interest is tied to that performance. Some offer uncapped strategies and some inflation hedge on the portfolio. It's really nice to add a fixed indexed annuity if you're looking for guarantees and you're looking for protection from market risk. Like I've mentioned before, all annuities are tax deferred. So there's no taxes every year, no 1099s until you take money out. Fixed index annuities have, again, they have a thing called an income rider that you can attach to the income, attach to the annuity itself, that can give you roll-up rates. Let's say like one company right now has a 7% compounded roll-up rate for up to 12 years. So if you know you're going to retire in 11 years, you know your income value is going to grow for that 11 years at 7%, no matter what happens. I mean, with a new administration, with future administrations, with stock market, whatever, it is guaranteed to grow at 7%. Nice little comfort knowing that you're going to have that as well. And of course, principal protection. That's one thing that's stressed is protecting that principal. And once the interest is in that account, it is now part of the principal, and it is guaranteed. So some people are saying, well, how are people using annuities to address longevity risk? Well, I mentioned before, a successful retirement addresses longevity risk with safety that is protected, income for the rest of your life. Variable annuities will offer you that income for the rest of your life, but they do not offer you principal protection. I mean, variable annuities are very widely sold, and I'm like, I use that word, sold to individuals because they have that upside potential, but you're paying that fee for that downside risk and an income for life. So why wouldn't you want to put your money from a variable and wipe out those fees and put it into a fixed index annuity that's going to give you higher income value, but it's not going to give you as much growth, but it's going to protect your principal. And God forbid we go into a 3 or 4 year downfall, you're protected under a fixed index annuity, where a variable you're not. And you all saw what happened last year in March, April, May. We had a 42% drop in 2.5 months. Luckily, it came back, but what if it doesn't come back next time? Where fixed index annuity is, they offer you the opportunity for growth potential, offer you the income for life, and again, that principal protection is so important. So you're looking at two choices for a pension substitute, because everybody wants to have a self-made pension. It's a great thing if you can create, and you're opening an annuity for income, you're creating yourself a lifetime pension. And fixed index annuities provide that foundation for that plan to do that. Both of them offer principal protection. Both of them can provide you with guaranteed lifetime income. The biggest difference is the growth opportunity. A fixed rate from day one. So the pro is, if let's say you're getting a 3% fixed rate, that's what you're going to get. No more, no less, 3%. And so sometimes it can hurt you in correlation with inflation. An index annuity moves with the market index. It provides inflation hedge, which is huge. But the con is some years might be lower than a fixed. I mean, 3 years in a fixed annuity, I mean, back in 2008, 2009, 3%, a lot of people that jumped on board and said, hey, I got 3%. Whereby in 2012, 13, the indexes were going up 7, 8, 9, 10%. Well, the fixed ones were only getting 3%. So there's a choice. If you're very conservative and you're just looking for a short-term account, fixed annuity is perfect. If you're looking for a little bit longer term and you're looking for a little bit more growth potential without the risk, then a fixed index annuity would be your hero. Like if you want to have market gains without market loss, that's what we're looking for. Now they provide defined growth, and a fixed index is a key building block to receive a successful retirement plan. Now, am I saying annuities is right for everybody in a retirement plan? Probably no, but there's a place for everybody. But when somebody says to you, Dolph, I hate annuities. I'm not a fan of annuities. I never buy annuity and da-da-da. I'm like, well, Social Security is an annuity. A pension plan is an annuity. You've paid in, they're going to pay you back. It's the same thing, except with an annuity, you're keeping control of the money. I can't stress that enough. Pension plans, you don't have control. Social Security, you don't have control. What I mean by that is if you get sick, there's long-term care doublers on annuities where they'll double your payments. Where with pension plans, if you need extra money out of a pension plan, can you call them up and say, I need more? No. If you need more money from your Social Security, can you call them up and say, I need more money? No. With an annuity, you can do that. I mean, they offer that safety, the income, the growth. I said again, the pro is the rate is protected even if the interest environment goes down. A con, the rate is capped on day one, so if it does go up. So you're getting about 80, 90, 70 to 80% of the upside without any of the downside risk. Now, working with advisors like myself, you got to realize that you have different rates, you have different terms, you have different ratings, different service levels for every insurance company. That goes back to what I mentioned before. It's not a one size fits all. If you go to someone, they give you two options and that's all they give you, then they might not be doing your due diligence. But you have to look for, as a term, you're looking for 1 year, 5 years, 7 years, lifetime, boom. You're looking for caps, boom. Are you looking for growth, or are you looking to pass this money on to legacy planning? You have to find out what's right for you. Now, providing against inflation hedge is there's interesting things about annuities is that a lot of the companies that are out there, and I can name at least 5 or 6 that are really top rated A-rated companies, still give you the protection, still give you the income, still give you the growth. But guess what? Is they help inflation. It's called an inflation hedge. They help hedge against inflation because things are going to get more expensive as we get older. Taxes are going to go up more than that. I know you've been waiting for me to talk about taxes. This is a way to hedge your inflation, because if you're getting increases in your income every year, but it's not affecting your tax rate, are you keeping more money in your pocket? It's the same as I'm talking about the fixed annuities, and this is going to be the plan for the whole way through. It's the power of tax deferral. If you don't have to pay taxes on the money, and I'm going to show you a screen here shortly, how much more money you're actually making because you're saving on taxes. Now, inflation hedge is the risk of prices rising faster than the growth rate that you're generating from your assets. Again, a successful retirement plan provides you the ability to maintain your lifestyle during the duration of your life. Safety and income are the hallmarks. Principal protection and lifetime income get rid of longevity risk. You don't have to worry about it anymore because you can help maintain your lifestyle. And then there's ways to increase yourself against price inflation. And index growth can help you provide against inflation as well. So a successful retirement, again, is the ability to maintain your lifestyle for the duration of your life. I'm going to beat down a dead horse for a few seconds. Like this, I mean, how do you make a plant grow with a leaf on top of money? That's exactly right. Safety, income, growth, inflation protection. Those are things that an annuity does for you. You take a portion of your portfolio that you do not want to lose, and that would be what you want to look for in an annuity. If you have a $500,000 portfolio and 200,000 of it's out there on the market, and you like that risk, then of course that does not belong in something that's protected. That belongs in risk environments. Now, what we're doing is we're offering no obligation longevity planning sessions. We have a thing here called the Where Do I Stand plan. Whoops, excuse me. The Where Do I Stand plan, and a tax map software that will put all your information into a program. It takes about 15 minutes. It's complimentary. We can do it with the virtual through yourself. You can come to the office. We can meet somewhere, whatever's popular for yourself. And it will show you what tax levels you're at, how much more you can take out, what you don't have going tax deferred, and how long your money is going to have, and to see if you have that, they say, shortfall in your life. Now, I have this little video about the power of taxes, the power about tax deferral I would like to share for you. It's about 3 minutes long, and enjoy the little video.
Taxes have been around in one form or another for thousands of years. The first known system of taxation goes all the way back to ancient Egypt in 3000 BC. Back then, the pharaoh would tour his kingdom every other year and collect 20% of everyone's crop harvest. And ancient Egyptians weren't very happy to pay taxes. Today, our modern tax system is much more complex. Because the government is continually tinkering with our tax system, the Internal Revenue Code is 6,550 pages long, and that doesn't include the 7.7 million words of tax regulations that are used to interpret those pages. There are generally 3 categories of tax treatment for your retirement savings. Taxable, where you pay taxes every year on your earnings. Tax deferred, meaning you don't pay taxes until you withdraw money. And tax-free, where you do not pay taxes on your earnings at distribution. Each category has different rules, different tax treatment, and different advantages and disadvantages. But all too often, many people have all their retirement savings in just one or maybe two categories. And when tax rates or rules change, you might be unable to make adjustments to your retirement income. Consider siblings Bill and Jill. Bill owns a traditional IRA. Jill owns a stock. When Bill takes money out of his traditional IRA, he must pay ordinary income taxes on the total amount he withdraws. Jill, on the other hand, when she sells her stock, will pay capital gains taxes on just the growth of the stock while she owned it. For Bill, his ordinary income tax rate can be as high as 37%. But for Jill, her long-term capital gain tax rate maxes out at 20%. Bill received a tax deduction in the year he contributed money into his traditional IRA. Meanwhile, Jill didn't receive any tax deductions when she bought her stock. Complicated, right? Now consider if Uncle Sam increased the tax rate on ordinary income, but left capital gains tax rates the same. Suddenly, Bill's taxes on his traditional IRA would go up, but Jill's taxes on the sale of her stock would remain the same. The result is that Bill would have fewer dollars in his pocket than Jill to pay his bills in retirement. That is why a retirement strategy that includes a strategy of tax allocation can be important. Much like you may use asset allocation to diversify your investments, tax allocation diversifies your retirement plan components into vehicles that are taxed differently. That way, should tax rates or rules change for one part of your retirement strategy, you could shift to using retirement funds from another area. Your financial professional can help you understand how various insurance products can help you achieve a tax allocation strategy and how different retirement savings vehicles can work together to benefit your income needs in retirement.
And I wanted you to watch that video because asset allocation is a huge thing, and it said the IRAs and are tax deferred and stuff like that, and capital gains taxes are at 20%. But I mean, diversifying your portfolio is a huge supplement when it comes to a successful retirement planning, and of course with taxes, because right now the tax structure of what we've been told is going to be going up now. So how will you be affected when it comes to taxes and tax deferral versus what it is in tax deferral? Now, this is a great chart. I mean, because right now she was talking 37%. This was actually 36%. And the Trump tax plans are going to come to the end here soon because I have a feeling those are going to be taken away. And so we don't know what tax bracket we are. But if you look on the left-hand column over here, you'll see like a tax deferred rate. So let's just go simply right to the 5%. It's an easy number. If you make 5% in a tax deferred vehicle, that's such as an annuity, versus paying like your money's in a stock, and let's say you're in a 28% tax bracket, you need to make almost 6.94% in that stock to equal what you made in a tax deferred account. If it's just 4%, you need to make 5.5% like that. So imagine if your money was in an annuity and it had no fees and it was earning 4% every year. Great. Well, if your money was in a stock and it was earning, you'd have to have earning 5.5% plus the fees you're paying for it. Let's just say 2%. So you need to make 7.5% to equal the tax deferred rate for you. That's the power of tax deferral. I said, I'm a local resource here in Charlotte, and I'm all about saving taxes. I'm all about putting more money in your pocket, making sure you never run out of money. I'm the owner and founders and been loving to be Clear Income Strategies Group. If you'd love to schedule a meeting with myself, I'd love to be able to run a tax set max software for you and a where do I stand plan. All you have to do is go to calendly.com/DolphJanis. That's calendly.com/DolphJanis. Schedule some time, whether it's 15 minutes or more, or it can be in person, virtually, or whatever. And we can go over these different complementary resources, which I'm going to show you here in a second. I have a really good friend and a good client of mine wrote this phrase for us. And the achieve is the Clear Income Strategy logo motto for this year. Is the key to success is to do what we all don't necessarily want to do in the present in order to achieve results we do in the future. This is what winners do. And we consider ourselves winners. We always want to go forward and not backwards. It's a wonderful statement if you think about it. You don't have to necessarily, you have to do things sometimes you don't want to do to achieve the success you're going to do in the future. Now, at Clear Income Strategies, like I said, I work with over 30 different companies out there and over 125 different strategies. We believe knowledge is power. We are educators first and advisors second. I believe in planning versus guessing. Now, if you'd like to have a where do I stand plan, like I said, we can do it online. It's a 17-page report. We plug in your numbers. It's going to take your income sources and Social Security, pensions, interest, investment income, rental income, all the stuff. And it's a blueprint for where all your money is due. It's complimentary. It doesn't take more than 15 minutes or so. And it will show you if you have any shortfalls. It will show you where your money is going to come all the way for the rest of your life. And it's a wonderful resource you can get from us. Also, if you'd like to have the complimentary 5 Steps to Retirement, this is a wonderful 5-page book pamphlet that will have enough information in there of like what are these 5 steps. And it also has a budget guide included in this. The budget guide, again, is invaluable to show you how much money you have now coming in, how much money you go out. Again, our mission is to keep you worry-free and help you gain in peace of mind. So if you would like that, please email or give us a call as well. We also are available on calling or texting at 704-307-0202. That's our texting number. You want to schedule a meeting, you can go to Calendly. We are here at Clear Income Strategies, like to turn your assets into income during a retirement income strategy that's right for you. It's finding what's right for you, because remember, my coined phrase is, sometimes the best way to make money is not to lose money. Never forget that, because it's always nice to jump up and never have to come down. And these are all a lot of the different resources we have, including books, white papers, reports, and so forth. Take your time, go to guardyoursavings.com. These are all the different resources we give to you. Again, complimentary. And yes, people say, well, Dolph, how can you give this stuff away? It's like, I made a promise to my wife 17 years ago. There's 2 things that are never going to happen. I'm never going to charge a fee, and I never want to have a client lose a dollar to the stock market. And then once again, I'm an educator first and an advisor second. So take advantage of any or all of these if you would like to have that as well. Here's a disclosure basically saying I am not a CPA. For the tax advice we do give, the tax software that we run for you is a software that will help you with state tax or federal taxes, not state taxes. And I'm not an attorney, so by any means. So those are the 2 things we're talking about there. Again, if you have any questions, please respond in below. We'd love to get back to you on any of those questions in here. In the meantime, I'm Dolph Janis, and thank you very much for joining us on this presentation today.